Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Fearmaky here, bringing you yet another video on the Plague Doctor this time. Man, the Plague Doctor is a really fun class to play, and as you can see on the screen, holy stickmen, it's insanity. Anyways, as we'll go through the Wormhole 500 clear here, some feedback from you guys, you wanted to see more gameplay. I'm going to go over some of the talents and what's going on here. So, the Steveman Stickman set is what's allowing us to deal insane damage and bringing out the army that you see there on the screen. But in addition to what you don't see, that's tough to see, is the Plague Doctor applies 6 debuffs to the targets when we're attacking. And we are at a whopping 10 attack speed per second that you can definitely push to 11 if you wanted to, but you'd be sacrificing a lot of other stats and other pieces of gear that would yield more damage in the long run. That I would not recommend. But if you wanted to, coupled with the hero level changes and some gear changes, you can reach 11 plus attack speeds per second. Look at how fast we kill that boss. So as usual, I always go for the meta sets, okay? And the Plague Doctor has had this stigma about them since season 7, that you can get 10 million health, 20 million health, you become unkillable, blah blah blah, and that's all pretty cool. I know in season 10 that was a huge thing as well, with stacking HP and becoming pretty much unkillable. I guess for the hardcore community this would be a really cool thing, obviously for various reasons. But when it comes to the soft core, I do not recommend stacking stamina. Not with the current way the game works right now at this exact moment. We are going with some stamina, don't get me wrong. Having a 4 million health pool, with Crown Mask proccing as you're doing the wormhole here, is no joke. I mean, majority of the other classes are running with 200,000, 400,000 health, right? So, but believe it or not, we're only at 1.4 million health flat without Crown Mask proc. And when it procs, we go to 4 million. Pretty much making us unkillable. There's no need to push that further, unless you just wanted to showcase how much health you can get on the Plague Doctor, which I will have that for you at the end of the video as well. But as you can see here, not stacking stamina, we're still unkillable. Do not have to move for any boss mechanics. As you've seen, just stand there and murder him. This is a crazy build, absolutely love it. Very safe, next to unkillable with the exception of the annihilation from Gabriel, etc. Alright, we're going to do a Uber Damien test quick. Pretty fast, very easy. Alright, we're going to dive into the meta setup for the Plague Doctor. On the action bar, we went with Defunct Surgeon. This is majority of your damage. The physician enters a rage, increasing attack, damage, and attack speed. The sanguine physician drains 5% of his health per second, cannot be used below 50% health. Really, don't even worry about the health reduction until they balance or fix this. It's irrelevant, honestly. You won't lose health, but if you, in case you do, or if you're low health and you try to use this, it's not going to work. For the second skill, we went with Toxic Flask. This is just a filler, okay? It's not really a lot of damage, but it's a nice filler to spread poisonous gas and do AoE damage. For your third ability, we went with the Plague Collar. Unleash your 7 rats in a line. The rats have a chance to be plagued and spread it on impact. Again, this is just a filler, also to spread the plague. This is massive. You want to keep spamming this at all times. That's why I have it on my right mouse button. Weakens nearby targets, increasing the damage they take from poison. This is working, and you should definitely be spamming this at all times to stack the debuff. For the gear, we went with the Raven's Claw Satanic. The reason for this is the attack speed, the crit rate, the massive crit damage, the +3 to all talents when you get it to 115, makes this neck meta for the Plague Doctor. The helm, I went with the Death Knight's Visage, mainly because of the massive flat poison damage on the helm, the 20% attack speed, 21% health. Really, I'm not that worried about this. You guys will see later in the video. 8% crit rate, which is huge. 28% crit damage, massive. For the charm, we went with the Hello It's Me Steve set bonus, set piece. For the set bonus, Army of Stickmen. Gives a chance on attack to cast an Army of Stickmen. And this is where the auto attack speed comes into play. You're going to have an enormous amount, a huge amount of stickmen running around and just deleting everything for you, along with your auto attacks and your poison, etc. Okay. This neck has 43% attack speed because I also put, Dar runes in it. 8% crit rate, massive 18% crit damage, 18% CDR to go along with it, and 1700 to all stats. The wind damage is irrelevant. Okay. For the weapon, Steve's Wand of Fortune. You can couple the set as you're building and gearing up. You can use, 2 other pieces if you like, but these slots here will be meta if you're able to get them. Steve's Wand of Fortune has 60% attack speed, 1100 to all stats, but the main reason for it was to get the set bonus. It also has a nice piercing shot when you attack as well. This set, if you notice it, is at 100% quality, both pieces, as opposed to 115, because to me the Steve set is on par with a Angelic. It's really difficult to get, but right now in the auction house there is a lot of pieces up there. People does have the build together with other pieces. You can get the 2-piece bonus using other slots, but if you do have everything, using the charm and the weapon will yield the most damage. For the chest, we went with UP Sweet Shirt. This has massive stam, 27% stamina, almost 13,000 flat stamina, 30% attack speed because of the Dow runes, 21% health, 15% CDR. Even though I'm not favoring stam, this is a must because stamina early on will scale really well, okay, as you're trying to gear up and as you're leveling up. Plus it's huge survivability, and you also want to be almost, you want to be unkillable as well while dishing out billions of damage, okay. And this chest yielded the most damage out of all of them, with the exception of St. Wuxie's Glorious Hauberk, which is not realistic to get, but I did do the test with it after. You guys will see. Anyways, for the shield, we went with Suomi Finland Perkele. Huge stam, but main reason for the attack speed, but also the survivability as well, and the health regen per second. For the gloves, we went with the Assassin's Mitts for the 47% attack speed with the runes in it. 16% crit rate, 14% crit damage. This is massive. For the belt, we went with the Monkey Skin Belt. 15% attack speed because of the runes, 15% CDR, 9% damage reduction, which is massive. But the main reason why this belt is meta across the board through multiple specs is the +3 to all talents. What you guys need to understand is +3 to all talents, or plus to all talents anything, means your character is at level 103 right now as opposed to level 100. And this applies to every single talent in your talent tree. Therefore, pushing the potential damage of those abilities and those talents way further than what you would actually, be able to do at level 100. So every time you see plus to all talents, just add a level to your character. So I'm at a level 103 just with this belt alone. That's why it's so strong. Anyways, for the ring, again, as you heard me go on about all talents, the Demon Eye ring, maxed out at 115, you get +2 to all talents. It's better than the Gem of Jordan. For the potion, we did go with the Witch's Potion because of the max 15% health. It's a lot of health. And you don't want to be sacrificing too much health with the Plague Doctor, or else you're going to die. The boots, Assassin Shadow boots. I mean, it speaks for itself, man. 20% attack speed with the runes, 10% crit rate, 28% crit damage. You know, it says it all. For the follower, we went with the slate this time around because we're stacking attack speed. So I went with the 18% one. You know, you want to get a 20% one. The higher you get, the more attack speed you get. This gives you a attack speed aura from the white mage, which increases your attack speed at all times. Also, with the attack speed on the bow that it comes with already, helps also stack the debuff from elemental, the shard of elements, pretty quickly as well. And on the helm, as usual, the helm of the Dominator, because you want to stack elemental break fast. Now for your talents, you want to put everything into extreme stamina, especially early on. Stamina will scale the best as you're leveling your character and you're getting him to 100, and you're going from hero level 100, 0 to 200. This will scale the best all the way around for damage. I tested everything else, including the attack speed, to go even further. It wasn't worth. It was less damage as opposed to putting the points into stamina. Okay, but if you are trying to reach a breakpoint as you're leveling, putting some points in attack speed and getting that next breakpoint will not hurt. It'll help you. So use that to your advantage. For the Mercenary, as usual, 1 point in every tree, 30 in multi-shot, 30 in rapid fire, 30 in piercing shots, 6 in scatter shot. Now, for the talents in general, let's get the bugs out of the way. The Plague Master, all you need is 1 point in it. Maxing this out did not increase damage at all for me in all of my tests. But putting 1 point into it, maybe it was RNG, yielded a little bit more damage. What else was there an issue with that I remember? Also, Fatal Curse. This did increase damage, but maxing it out was not worth it. The damage increase was not worth it at all. Chant of Weakness is really strong. So all you need is 1 point into it though. Maxing this out also did not yield more damage on the dummy at all. And it wasn't worth, putting the extra points in it. Booster Shot. When attacking, the Plague has a chance to inject elixir, gaining attack speed and movement speed. This wasn't worth going for. Because even when it was maxed out, it only gave me like 0.30 or something attack speed. I don't know. It wasn't worth putting 20 points into it over the other talents. Okay? And that's pretty much it. The talents we went with that makes the build 100% Defunct Surgeon. You want to use this. You want to put Lifeblood Aura, increases the Sanguine Physician and allies' maximum health and health regeneration. This is massive for yourself, and this is the reason why, out of all the classes I've tested to date, is one of the strongest talents in the game when it comes to playing in a party. And also for your Mercenary. Your Mercenary never dies because of this talent. It's huge. So therefore, your Elemental Break debuff is up 100% of the time, because your pet's always up. And the test that I did as well, you'll see in the video, he's always alive. Also, a core of the build is the Devout Doctor. All abilities now cost life to use. You gain increased damage based on maximum health and current health. This is just to scale with the Crown Mask. As you gain more health, your damage will go up. Okay, but as far as the abilities costing health to use, irrelevant. If they actually want to make that a thing in the future, they need to make it cost way more health when you cast your chant, to apply the debuff to do more damage. You're going to take a big chunk of your health. But to balance that with all the regen going on, it will be pretty tough. it's good where it's at if you ask me. The core of the build while you're doing Wormhole and also farming Inferno 5, Crown Mask. Increases maximum health and resistances when killing an enemy. This stacks to 10 times. Okay, and depending on your itemization in your stats, this can go as high as 320% max health. And you'll see on some of the tests I do later where we're maxing out just HP, you know, to explain to you guys why it's not that good, if you ask me, compared to the meta build and damage, because it's really slow. You know, but this will increase your health by a shit ton, and it will give you some damage. Yes, it's not the bulk of your damage. You know, you decide for yourself after watching all the videos and the facts. Okay, but you do want to put points into this because with the correct gear setup, this will scale and help you, you know, survive and dish out more damage. It's better to put 20 points into this than anything else on the tree, pretty much, when it came to testing and getting damage increased. And it's really tough to test this on the dummy, right? Because it doesn't work on the dummy. But it does work in the game. I did test it in Wormhole 500 multiple times, and it did yield more damage. And you know, you can see from your hits that are proccing, and your health pool just goes up by a lot. Then the rest of the points I dumped into Miasma. This is optional, increases attack damage and gives a chance to spawn poisonous clouds on enemies. The Plague Caller's attacks hit. So this is just for, because we're going with insane attack speed at 10 attack speeds per second. You know, we want those attacks to hit really hard, and also has a nice proc chance to spawn a poison cloud. You know, but if you wanted, you know, you could take the points there and put it into chance of weakness, or even put it into fatal curse. Up to you. I put it in this because in all the tests it was better this way for me. And that's it for the talents. Alright, this will be a test with the Fem Rune, 1.5% max stamina on all pieces of gear. You can see the icon of the Fem Rune. You can see that on every slot I have Fem Rune. Okay. And we have 1.9 million health. Let's do a couple of attempts here. The highest I seen was 866 million, as you see there. The reason for this testing is I believe the speed runes is way better. Attack speed runes is way better than the Fem runes. But I just maxed out all the pieces of gear to 115. Originally it was at 100 because when I start my testing I go up in increments to try to, you know, filter out all the secondary items and also runes. And then when I find a base in a build that works, that can yield the most damage, then I'll start to tweak it and min-max it. So I had done a test with the attack speed and then put in all Fem runes, so 897 million there. And then I said, you know something, before I go back to the attack speed runes, let me do some tests with the Fem runes, that way I can show the community as to why the Dow speed runes is better. Because the history with Plague Doctors, I don't know if you guys are aware, that you can stack freaking 10 million life on it, be unkillable, and dish out a bunch of damage. Which is true, don't get me wrong, but as far as yielding the most amount of damage, I'm putting that to the test right now, and we're going to find out together. So that was what, 897 million? But I'll show you a variant as well with stacking life, so you guys can see. 912 million. My attack speed, 6.73. I mean 6.53. Make sure we get the proxy with the blood sustenance. Yeah, 653 with blood sustenance. Okay. So 912 million. So for this test here, we're going to do all Dow runes on the sockets. You can see the icon, Dow runes 5% attack speed. You can see we have it on the neck, helm, charm, weapon, chest, shield, gloves, belt, ring, potion, and boots. Man, it took me a while to get all this stuff sorted out. The add-on wasn't saving the runes. It was a problem. All right, let's try this. So we capped out at 912 million with a good proc, right, on the fem runes, the stamina runes. Let's see what we'll get here. Oh, okay. All right then. Well, first attempt we have 1.1 billion with attack speed. But let's do a couple of more. That's not enough, right, for the non-believers. I don't even believe it myself. Are you kidding me? One attempt, 989 million. All right, that's higher than 912. All lucky procs, right? A lot of the builds when it comes to attack speed, crit chance, crit damage are very proc heavy. But when it is a build like that, you can only rely on the procs. Meaning, like, you have to take it as accurate data. How can you not? So just like with the Paladin, right? The damage range is so high, between 1.5 billion to 6.7 billion with the hammers. You have to take that into consideration because the build can reach that when it procs. It's not that it won't reach that; it will. There it is, 1.1 billion. Yeah, I'm fine with wearing a weaker Shroud of Elements and still reaching higher damage with Dow speed runes as opposed to the fem runes. Alright, but you guys can do your own testing if you want, but the verdict is there. So, alright guys, I'm going to make this quick because the video is already dragging on for over 20 minutes. But I want to show you some build variants as usual. You can use the Ritual Pendant, Anubis, Oculus, Gurag Soul, okay, as an option for the neck. The helm, you can use Harlequin Crest, Wormwood, also the Ancient Avenger. I would say is second best in slot if you're stacking stamina. Well, first best in slot if you're stacking stam. You can use the Wasteland Sigil, it's really good. Rainbow as usual, always good. For weapons, second in slot, you can use the Spirit Urn. You can also use a Doctor's Potion. The Cobra Blood, also good. For the chest, you can use Lichbane. You can use Devil's Cocoon. Alright. And you can also use St. Wuxie's Hauberk. And also Dark Shroud as you're leveling up. For the shield, pretty much Swami. It's easy to get. You can use a lower version of it. Or any shield that gives you stamina will give you damage or attack speed. Don't use the Arcane Bastion. It's not really going to do anything for you. I was just testing with it. It's irrelevant. For the gloves, if you're stacking stam, the Scuttle Crab Gauntlets. Okay, you can also use Doctor's Grasp gloves. For the belt, you can use Commander Sash, Assassin's Belt will also be good. Gemma Jordan also, if you're obviously stacking stam. The Bottle of Sake, if you want to do the extra crit, and crit damage early on. And for the boots, the Tundra Marches. There's a lot of other variables you can use, but I tested, these, and you will get, between 200 up to 600 million damage with any of the other variants with no issues, right? Which means it'll allow you to clear Inferno 5. So rewind the video if you have to and look at the name of the items in the secondary slots, and you should be able to do Inferno 5, no issues, assuming you have 100% quality of those items. One last disclaimer. I know I don't put builds around Angelics in the Steveman stick set. Can almost be considered as a Angelic because you need to get the Jeffrey subscription along with the Demon Sheep in order to do the Steve Stickman realm, which is over here. I'll show you. And I'll put the relics on the video as well so you can see. But once you have the Jeffrey subscription and the Demon Sheep, you come and interact with the statue, and it'll give you a code. I believe it'll spit out the code above it, but I want to say it's 2, 6, 4, 5, 3, 1, and then a portal will spawn here, and then you do this. And every time you do the Steve Stickman set, you know, realm, you'll have a chance to get any Steve item. And you always want to do that. So while you're farming Inferno 5, you always want to keep your relic slots, have 2 slots empty, so you can get the Steve stick, so you can get the Jeffrey subscription and the Demon Sheep, so you can do this realm in order to acquire this, you know, this set. You can also look for it in the auction house, which will allow you to get this, you know, set. And you can go for the 2-piece set bonus with other slots as well while you're leveling up, and it'll be really strong. Okay, enjoy the build. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. I appreciate it. Man, testing the Plague Doctor with the Steve Stickman set almost drove me crazy. I cannot hear another Steve Stickman army, man. Pretty crazy. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for all the support. Please don't forget to comment, like, and smash that subscribe button. Please check me out on Twitch when I'm streaming. I appreciate it, and follow me there. Roll deep.